welcome to the show. I am your host, Suzanne Monk, host of the one and only all-live Periscope Trump newscast, Trump Talk US. Sorry, we're a little bit late. Sometimes late. I had a friend, had a birthday. I had to celebrate. You can't be mean. So here we are, catching up 15 minutes late, but we're trying to do about 10:30 now. So for those of you tuning in, we're trying to do the show at 10:30 every evening except Sunday. I got to take one day, just because otherwise the husband gets cranky. Let's get right into the news, you guys. Trump's been doing this fun thing on his page, donaldjtrump.com. If you don't know it, if you haven't visited it, there's all this stuff there. You should go check it out. Lots of information, lots of specifics. Welcome. I'm sorry to keep you awake. So, media bias of the day. This is a great bit. I'm going to keep posting them every day as long as Trump keeps putting them up. Washington Post media bias of the day. They have a great screenshot. Bad story, and then 4 opinion articles, all negative about Trump. Donald Trump is just going to keep exposing the lying media for what it is, and we're going to do everything we can to help get that message out. So I'm going to put that on the page. Media bias of the day on Trump Talk US's Facebook page. Take a look at it. The media they're full of it, and they're full of themselves. So, for example, they had talked for, 2 days about the baby that got kicked out of the rally. Well, as we reported here on Trump Talk, you heard it. The mom has now come out with a statement saying that she was not kicked out of the rally. She had never at any point felt kicked out of the rally. She enjoyed the Trump rally very much. Her husband and other daughter were there at the rally. She couldn't get a babysitter, so she brought the children. She had no issues. She went outside. The law enforcement were there. They were very supportive of her. So she issued a statement saying that she is very happy, very in support of Trump, did not feel kicked out, never felt kicked out. She's used to taking the baby out. She was offended in no way. She did not think Trump kicked out the baby. He was very kind to her. That is her statement. So, once again, the media runs with the story rather than talk to the person. Isn't that nice? Yes. Rather than talk to the person. The same thing with the Purple Heart veteran. Over and over and over, the media runs with some bullshit when, in fact, this is what we find out. So, that's why we report on what happens. Always with the follow-up. And when you see those stories, share them. You know, people don't get their media. This is important. People don't get their media anymore from watching TV. So it doesn't matter what the television media says. It really doesn't matter what all these cable people are talking about. What matters is the stories that get put in front of people's faces. And the more you're sharing these stories, the more they get put in the feeds, and the more people see them, the better the story is. Now, where I get my info from all over. And I try to verify from one story to the other story. Or I go directly to Donald Trump's page. And I get the stories either from press releases that he's released or news stories that he's linked to. One, because he's not going to link to those stories that tell lies about him. That would be the stupidest thing ever. So there's a lot going on in Donald Trump's page. If you dig into the media category, there's a lot going on in there. Some great stuff, and we post a lot of stuff from there. And you got to just keep an eye. I know Breitbart does some good stories. Every now and then they do some crappy stories, but often they have some good stories. I know the Gateway Pundit, for example. Some of those stories are pretty good. You got to double check. Don't double check with Snopes. We all know Snopes is actually absolutely ridiculous. In fact, Snopes got called out for misleading everybody about this Iran situation. As you know, Donald Trump came out talking about the Iran ransom money that was delivered to Iran. And, of course, the media went crazy and said there was no video. Donald Trump doesn't know what he's talking about. It wasn't ransom money. And then the hostages came out and talked about how they themselves were held until the plane with the money arrived. But it wasn't ransom. We're all supposed to believe that. And not believe Donald Trump. When he said that there wasn't any video. He said there was a video, and they said there wasn't any video. And he's like, all right, well, maybe I didn't see the video. But you know what? There was video. Yeah. So that story will continue to unfold. I'll post what information I have about the story as it unfolds. But we are, in fact, finding out there, in fact, was video. The Iranians did, in fact, film it to embarrass us, etc., etc., etc. This is what, you know what? I would just say to all you haters and lefties or whatever, here's a little message for you. Don't bet against Donald Trump. When you decide you're going to tell a lie, don't tell it opposite Trump, because you know what? Truth always comes out. News turns Trump. That's what happens. So, another news story the media got all pissy about. Donald Trump didn't endorse Paul Ryan or John McCain or Kelly Ayotte. Guess what? He did that today. So, all upset. Donald Trump didn't endorse Paul Ryan. Well, he waited till he was in Wisconsin to endorse Paul Ryan. Now, let me just clear my throat and let me just point out something, okay? Donald Trump is a media genius, okay? Because by not endorsing Paul Ryan, by giving the little quippy, I'm just not ready yet, he gets the media talking and talking and talking about that. So all they got time to talk about is that and the baby and the fact that he eats chicken with a knife and fork. They don't have a lot of time for all of their other lies and misinformation, and they talk about Trump all the time. Trump, he won't endorse Paul Ryan. He won't endorse Paul Ryan. He won't endorse Paul Ryan. Over and over and over. And then he does. Trump is leading the media right where he wants him. You guys think, even though all this bad, he knows they're going to give him bad press. So he is leading how the bad press is coming. Which bad press? He's affecting that and doing a great job, as is evidenced by this Paul Ryan, John McCain, and Kelly Ayotte. Because now he made every news station cover that rally live of him endorsing everybody and demonstrating party unity, calling for party unity and the coming together, so that because he said today that he needs a Republican Senate and Congress so he can pass many of these reforms that we know we need. So, Donald Trump, media smart like a fox. You hear it here. So, let's talk a little bit about what's going on. You have to feed the stupid media. Look, they're going to say mean things. The media is going to try to get him. And if you, as everybody knows from the Briar Rabbit story, you want to get caught in your own briar patch. You know what I'm saying? So, Trump is always laying out briar patches. So the media gets pulled right in. And in fact, that whole situation with the emails, as we all know, when Hillary Clinton was talking about the emails, and then Russia found out about the DNC emails, and Donald Trump made the joke, and Hillary Clinton was all like, but it's a national security email. He's joking about the emails. Right. That's what we've been saying all along, Hillary Clinton, that it's not just your yoga routines. It's a national security issue, what's in those emails. And the fact that Russia may have them is a national security issue. She's such an idiot. You are so correct. You are so correct. Here's some of the things that poor crooked Hillary Clinton is dealing with this week. The Iran ransom cover-up, which apparently is not going very well because footage has in fact come out of the money being delivered. Iran is certainly not cooperating with this mentality that the administration wants. And so we basically have had the president now have to lie. After he did his old little embarrassing, Trump isn't fit for being president, in front of the Singapore prime minister, who then kind of schooled him and said that Singapore would act. He didn't feel this was appropriate place for politics to be discussed, and Singapore would cooperate with whomever was the president. It's kind of an embarrassing moment. After that, he goes right into he has to cover up the fact that he paid Iran ransom. So it's a little bit embarrassing moment over there. She also had a wonderful moment where she accidentally told everybody she was going to tax the middle class. And then said, oops, I didn't mean to say that. But the crowd all cheered because leftists all turned into communists and they love all taxes. Don't let them fool you. Don't let them fool you. They don't love the middle class. They love taxes and government spending. Did she even say oops? No, not really. No, not really. Oh, and then of course, we all know the situation where our interview with Chris Wallace, which went very well. It went very well. She tried to tell everybody that, in fact, Jim Comey said she did not lie. Except that we all saw Jim Comey said, no, she basically lied at every point. There's no precedent set for putting a presidential candidate in jail. He kind of just basically said, I'm an operative and patsy of Hillary Clinton, so I'm not going to prosecute. That's what we all kind of saw him say. But he was very clear on Hillary Clinton not telling the truth at several instances. And then Hillary Clinton said she did tell the truth. And then Hillary Clinton said she short-circuited and she didn't know what she meant when she said that. And then she said she told the truth again. Now, either the woman is crazy, which may be, but I don't know. I don't think so. I think she's just a liar. I think she lies pathologically is the word they use. I think the woman doesn't know how to stop lying. I mean, literally, I feel like if lying Ted were like the little alien kind of, the aliens that come and get you, Hillary Clinton is like the queen alien with all of the pod alien lying pod babies she's the queen of liars. I've never seen a woman lie so much in my life. So, Hillary Clinton campaign not doing well. It's going to be our job, however, this is important. It's going to be our job to get these stories out. So when you see these stories, particularly by if you can catch any of these reputable news organizations from doing any of the good stories, any major organizations, if they do a good story, get it out there. And by good story, you know what I mean, an honest story about Hillary Clinton being crooked and corrupt. Even half honest, better than nothing. Otherwise, share what you can. I know your friends are going to all give you judgment about where your sources are. The more the more moderate and middle of the road your sources can be, when you find them, share them. Very important to keep people informed about the crooked things Hillary Clinton is doing, including the line of bodies that are showing up. A Bernie Sanders supporter who was filing a claim against the DNC somehow ended up dead. There's a couple of people ended up unknown causes, random suicides that are in and around the campaign. So I haven't verified everything. I just know there's a lot of stories. Read for yourself. Take everything with a grain of salt. But it's just such a common story around Hillary Clinton that people just end up not alive. Let's talk about some rallies. A bunch of rallies coming up, you guys. All of the Clinton Cash. There's this new story. There's a new Clinton's America. There's of course 13 Hours, which I don't know how if you've seen 13 Hours and you're still voting for Hillary Clinton, you're brain dead, and you should seek medical or psychological help immediately. And you know what I'm talking about. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. So let's talk about rallies. Friday, today, Donald Trump was in Des Moines. They were in Green Bay, of course. The endorsement, great. I saw at least a good fraction of it. I'm gonna tune in later to rsbn.tv and catch up on all of the. I didn't get to see Mike's whole thing. And so I wanted to kind of catch up on that. But that's the great place to catch up on it, rsbn.tv. They don't pay me. They don't know me. But I tell everybody to go there because that's where, when I am looking for stuff, I find it. And it's not all messed up. And it's not, sometimes it says one thing and then it's like 10 minutes and it's not really the thing. And they mess it up. But not on rsbn.tv. So tune in there. Saturday, tomorrow, Windham, North Carolina, and Detroit, Michigan. Those are Donald Trump rallies. Detroit is going to be on Monday. So Saturday, Windham, North Carolina, 8 p.m. Monday, Detroit, Michigan, noon. Many of the big city rallies happen earlier in the day. They learned their lesson from the rally here in Chicago. Mike Pence is going to be in Sioux City, Iowa on Monday, 4 p.m. and Council Bluffs, Iowa at 7 p.m. Let's do my Trump reason of the day, you guys. Trump reason of the day. If you heard Donald Trump's speech, he spoke about, after giving the endorsement, he spoke about the Republican Party bringing unity and creating a big tent, bringing back that big tent mentality. For a long time, the Republican Party has gone down the road of tighter and tighter social conservatives, becoming more and more narrow in their focus, rejecting more and more individuals who may have less interest in many of these litmus test policies that so many social conservatives have been using to control the Republican Party for quite some time. And unfortunately, their politicians know how to make those promises, but then they go to Washington and they don't do any of that. So that hasn't been very good. Now, the Republican Party in such has been losing ground to the Democrats over and over again every year by narrowing their focus. Donald Trump expands the focus. He expands it to, he's opened up the LGBT Republican, the log cabin Republicans are thrilled. For the first time in their life, they finally have a candidate who understands LGBT rights at all. So that's certainly expanding. Donald Trump is reaching out to Democrats. He's reaching out to libertarians. Frankly, Gary Johnson has just turned into a Hillary shill. I mean, he's all open borders and pro-TPP. It's absolutely ridiculous. So as I keep saying, there's no libertarian candidate more libertarian than Donald Trump in this election. Sorry, Gary, you're not pulling it anymore. You're losing your cred by the decisions you're making. And Donald Trump is the one who wants to cut regulations and shrink the government and turn education local and all of these things. And it's not you, Gary. You know what the polls are actually showing? He's going to screw Hillary Clinton. Because nobody who's voting... Look, he's pro-TPP, Trump's anti-TPP. He's not even pulling the Bernie voters very well if he's in support of the Trans-Pacific Partnership. So... yeah, I think Gary and Jill are basically going to kind of battle it out for the same bitter people. Here's what's funny. The conservatives who are voting for Gary Johnson, you know he supports legalizing all drugs, right? Vote for who you're going to vote for. I'm voting for Donald Trump. I hope you all join me and vote for Donald Trump with me. So, but that's what Donald Trump is bringing to the party. He's bringing in independents. He's bringing in Democrats. He's bringing in African Americans. Have you seen some of the recent polls, the polling with African Americans? He's doing great. You got to see all the rally. In fact, we'll see. If you just go to a rally now, granted, the Trump rally I went to got canceled, and we didn't get to see Trump. But what I can tell you is the diversity of people in the rally, immense. People of all kinds. I was standing next to these wonderful Muslim dudes for Trump. We had like the Latino guys, the African Americans, everybody. It was all mixed up. So it's absolutely, you know, that's cute. You should actually do the math. He mentioned that Donald Trump is going to waste a lot of money building a wall and deporting people. Unfortunately, you should do the math at the costs that illegal immigrants are bringing upon America in the costs of schooling, healthcare, police enforcement, border security costs, all of these things. Just keeping the border secure is immensely, immensely expensive. That's why the Border Security Patrol organization endorsed Donald Trump this year. They've never endorsed a candidate ever. You know why? Because Donald Trump understands, and he's willing to deal with, they're crossing the border in many ways. They're crossing the border. He says they're not crossing the border on foot. They are. We have it on camera. I mean, that's just so funny. You know who else is crossing the border? The coyotes are crossing the border. You know they're bringing us the border? Young women that they are sex trafficking. You are literally, by allowing the open border system, you are literally allowing the mechanism by which drug cartels use ransoming and sex trafficking, gun trade, and drug trade to control Mexico. Mexico has turned into a narco state because the drug cartels have so much money they can bribe all of the government officials, and as we know, do frequently. If you watch some of the documentaries about Mexico, there are individual citizens who are starting vigilante groups to defend their own towns because the drug cartels are so powerful. Do you know why they're powerful? Because the border is insecure. And even if we legalized every drug, the human trafficking trade would still exist. The gun trade would still exist. So I understand. I, too, am a libertarian. I've supported legalizing drugs for many years. But you know what? That's not the only way the drug cartels make money. It's just fact. So, what even the Border Security Patrol has said, that an effective wall will slow the flow of illegals such that the existing security plus additional security will be able to control the border much more effectively. It in fact will, and every study has actually said that it will in fact slow it. The only people who say it won't are open border people. And let me explain something to you. You have been tooled by people like George Soros and other people who make billions of dollars off of open borders. They have coordinated political efforts. They have worked very hard to make sure that you believe that building a wall is ineffective, while all of the experts actually state that building a wall is going to have an effect on slowing it down. Where there is fence now, it has slowed down. You know what they do? They go around because we didn't finish the border. We've had this wall, this fence passed for a decade or more. Congress has already passed this. So it's so ridiculous that everyone says that Donald Trump is a racist because he wants to build a wall. We've had this as a law for many, no one in government has the balls to actually finish paying for it and finish building it. And you know who knows how to build stuff on time and under budget? I meant Donald J. Trump. So, let's do this. You can get it on Amazon, Amazon.com. I think I paid like $7 for it. They have some other new ones. They also have it in white. I've seen a great t-shirt, by the way, while we're talking about the LGBT community. There's a great t-shirt out that has the Trump Pence logo with the rainbow flag. Absolutely adorable. Some things we don't answer because they don't make any sense. Let's do a little segment. As y'all know, I like to do Trump hotties of the day. He's actually... I understand. You know, let's talk about that for a second before we do Trump hotties. Let's talk about disappointed with the Ryan endorsement. I understand. There are a lot of people who are disappointed about because they love Paul Nehlen and they're very upset with Paul Ryan. And I understand why anyone would say, you know what, Trump should have stuck with the outsiders and supported the outsiders. I appreciate that. I think it's very important right now for Donald Trump to do as much as he can to create party unity, to pull out as much of the Republican vote. And I think he did it in that spirit. But that's why he did it with his little snark in his voice. Okay? That's why he did it with the little, that may be. Paul Ryan might still lose. He might still lose. Nonetheless, I think that's a process of watching Trump, how Trump is going to negotiate. And you guys, the wall's they've already agreed to build the fence. So I just think that Trump is doing the endorsements for party unity, but he certainly has expressed a reticence, and that little kind of snark in his voice is really saying to everybody, you know, politics, it is what it is. As you know, Mike Pence endorsed for many days before he did. So 90%. Oh, that's so cute. It's actually 90%. So they say he's only getting 40% of the GOP. That's so cute. It's 90%. You Democrats are so cute. Let's do Trump hotties today. Today's Trump hottie. I love that there's been a lot of new rallies because we've got a lot of new pictures of Trump hotties. And I know people always are like, oh, why? You know, everybody that supports Trump is all white. No, some of them are beautiful African-American women with beautiful little jackets. Look at that. I love that little jacket. Don't you love the little jacket? And you can't see in this picture, she has cute little America shoes. And obviously, at the rally, supporting Donald J. Trump. You should actually go to a rally. There's a lot of African-Americans who support Trump. Not all African-Americans are on the Black Lives Matter plantation. Many of them want jobs. They don't believe Hillary Clinton. They don't trust her for a minute. They know what she said about super predators back in the 90s. They know her previous attitudes toward African Americans. Frankly, are you kidding me? She told a panel of black people that she keeps hot sauce in her purse. She's the most pandering, ridiculous person I've ever seen. And frankly, that's another thing about Gary Johnson. Gary Johnson came out today and endorsed Black Lives Matter. So, he's just not going to do well. because Trump does love all Americans and has many supporters from many nationalities. He leads with white women. He's doing great with Hispanics. He's doing Reagan levels with Hispanics. The media wants to spin it all that he's not doing well with these groups because they don't want to talk about policy. But you know what? Eventually we're going to have debates. So, jobs. That's what people are going to want to talk about. Upcoming, Trump is doing a big economic speech. So, for those of you, we will certainly go over all the details. I'm sure he's going to lay out a specific plan. Can't wait for the debates either. It seems we're going to find out when the debates are being held. I don't know if they're going to change them because, as you know, they're playing up against games. We all have to just, there's TiVo. I think it'll be fine. I think it'll actually fine. So, you know what? I love this feed sometimes because you end up with a lot of hilarious conspiracy theories that you don't even realize the left has. I Google search as much as I can, but some of you guys come up with some crazy stuff about what you think Trump did that I don't know where you get it. Y'all should actually hear what we should do. Here, I'm going to ask all of you lefties who chime into the show, tell me where you get this crazy information that you think is information. Send me the links. Send me the links here. TrumpTalkUS@gmail.com. No, I haven't even seen any military people at all for Hillary, but, hey, who knows? She can pay people too, I guess. I don't know. But send me the links. If there are people, send them here. You can tweet them to me at Trumpertarian on Twitter. Go ahead and tweet them to me. You can email them. I love getting email. You can go and, you can go on our Facebook page, Trump Talk US, and, you can message me there and tell me all about your, all the things you think Hillary is great at. You can also just catch all of our past episodes, www.trumptalkus. This is our YouTube channel. We post all of the videos there after the fact, so all of you charming commenters, you might go viral. Who knows? Maybe if I go viral, you go viral. So what you should do is tell everybody about this great show that you get to chime in and make your little snarky anti-Trump comments. And sometimes she talks back. It's fun, right? Yeah, they're all watching. That's why I don't care. They're getting actual information. And for me and little Trumpy, you all know that's what it's all about. You guys, we got to keep up the good fight. There are 94 more days until the election. That means 94 more opportunities for us to wake up and fight for Donald J. Trump. Post the Hillary Clinton articles. Post positive Trump stories. Get out there and nag your friends. Go door to door personally if you have to. You don't have to work for the Trump campaign to work to elect Donald J. Trump. From me, little Trumpy, that's our advice. Till tomorrow. Go Trump.